Good evening, everybody. Good evening. We're here, and for the first time ever, we are early. It's a fantastic experience. Got 4 games today. These are all a few weeks old, except for one of them. But that's just because wildfires from Canada came down. I was dying. Then I went on vacation to a lake in Maryland with my wife's great aunt at her cabin. It was a lot of fun. Was kept super busy. My favorite thing was Aunt Betty kept saying, "Oh, everybody keeps offering me things, and I don't want nothing. I'm nice and simple. I don't want nothing. No. Oh, by the way, Russell, if you could go and trim those bushes and the ones in front of the window and the ones by the street and pull out this stump for me that's been there for 2 years and clean out the fire pit and da 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 da." But she didn't want anything though. It's very funny. Melon, happy Thursday. Your game is up first. So, with explaining the absence out of the way, let's see what we got here. We've got a Slibbly. That's nice. We're going to go on all skills just because I always forget what Slibbly has. We've got an amazing skink. This is fantastic. I love this. Yeah, this is... You have no excuse not to go for one turns in, like, any case. Unless, like, you're already winning and you're scared of blitzes. That's a good reason. I'll accept that reason. Agi5 against you. Luogo, also a decent coach. So, anything else to be aware of? +1 fame for the Dark Elves. Dark Elves have a bench. You have a bench. Dark Elves are on defense first. They're going the boat, it looks like. Which I don't mind against lizards. Just gotta be careful not to get based too hard. But with how much dodge these Dark Elves have, they should be fine even if they get based up. In a game like this, if I'm the Lizards, I'm not looking to base elves with dodge because forcing a 1 in 36 just really doesn't do much. Forcing a 1 in 9 is okay. You get the Kroxigor in there and then you give them a guard piece to assist. That's fine. But really, you're looking to keep your Lizards free. Force them to base you because if you base them, they can either dodge or develop a hit. And whichever one they choose will be the most beneficial one to them. Because they don't have to choose all one or all the other. So if you base, let's say you base 5 Dark Elves, they can dodge 2 of them and take 3 punches. That is always an option. And the main thing against elves is always forget. Was in a rush? Okay, I won't comment on it. That's fine. Yeah, and honestly, I will comment on it, right? You thought you were defending, right? If you thought you were defending, honestly, I don't hate it. Stand firm on the side, strength 4 in the middle, skinks back to defend. But on offense, honestly, this isn't that bad. Prevents blitz, and you're decently in range to hit things. It's whatever. It's mostly a non-issue. Yeah. I didn't hate it on defense. Because you don't have to do double cups against elves. And when you have Slibbly, you're able to do slightly different things. So I actually kind of liked that. The double space just all the way around. Main thing I'd say is you got to protect your tackle piece. This is exposed. I would 100% develop a hit on this as the Dark Elves. This is your most important piece this game. Yeah, we have a Slibbly. How you doing, Waffle? Sine wave. How you doing? That's fine. Yeah, this looks good. I'm okay with this. The strip ball is going to be annoying just because lizards usually don't have the luxury of, sure hands. Hey, if you have a rostered Slibbly, you're happy. That's fine. Oh, that's sad. I'm disappointed. But hopefully fine. Let's take a peek here. I'm not sure what the Dark Elves can do here in response. I think they're just going to reposition. They're going to take their 1 blitz a turn. Maybe just blitz this piece, open up some access to the skinks, try to scare you into moving your skinks around. But really, the lizards aren't doing much this turn. Actually, here there is a wild play available. If they just decide, hey, we're going to do some funky stuff, they can, say, hit this piece, with however they do, or like with this standing elf, then dodge into a hit on ball. It's not good, but it is possible. I agree. I think with 2 Super Skinks, you don't need to bring the ball forward quite yet. You could have had the ball back here and just been content. So that's something to consider with lizards. You don't have to bring the ball forward yet until you have a place to put it. And you kind of had a place to put it. You made a good space. But you also could just play like you have a thrower. Just play back a little bit. Leave a skink up here to receive the ball. But leave the ball back here like a thrower, but you just hand off. Yeah, 3+2+2+ to get 2 die isn't terrible, but I don't... It would be a 2 die on the sidestep skink rather than the ball carrier. And this player doesn't have any kill skills. That's good, though. I did not count the squares. That was a good find by Luogo. Oh, and this blitzer's move up. I didn't even notice. And here we see some normal Elfie stuff. A little bit of stuff in the back to harass and screening. Now you get to figure out how you want to resolve this situation. And I think the answer is almost always you're going to blitz the move up blitzer. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to blitz the move up blitzer. Be willing to chain. And then form a cage over here somewhere. Like, I don't know. Form a leg right up here? Something like this? I don't know. But like the blitz is easy to find. Like I'm sure you found it, right? You can even make this a 3 die. If you wanted. I don't mind this. I don't mind that. Okay, I think you did more than you needed to, I think. I don't mind the reroll. That is a good hit. It is a bit greedy, but all your lizards have block. You have some super skinks, so I think you're allowed to be a little greedy there. You're gonna get your ball moved up into a cage, unbased cage, mind you. So that's really good. Are you going to? I'm assuming you're moving the move up skink up here as well. Bring it up to protect it a little bit. That's fine. Okay, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Cage, 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 or I rage, rage, rage. I do like getting not Slibbly, your Kroxigor into base contact with this lineman, who's like one of the 2 players on the team that doesn't have dodge. I think that's pretty fun. Try to develop that Mighty Blow hit. And I wonder, is there a killer blitzer that's an NG? No, all 4 blitzers are in the game, just doesn't have a killer yet. Or it, like, died. That's probably what happened. Restraint on the reroll, okay. Should you restrain yourself on the reroll as the Dark Elves there? I think I probably would have rerolled that one. Just because AV7's in contact. It's a good hit. That's a really good hit. Good job. And that is a positional out. That is a tackle piece. So you did a good job hunting down the tackle. That's the only tackle in the game, isn't it? Yeah, that's the only tackle. Good job. Good selection. Yeah, that's an amazing removal. That's fantastic. That's exactly what you wanted to go after. And then here, you can just like put the lineman back onto the Kroxigor. And you're just content to punch elves for a while. Like, you don't have to go forward anymore. You just get to develop hits. And also keep the ball safe. So if you can screen off the cage, that'd be nice. But I think even better than that would be trying to protect this move-up skink. Like, bring it over here. Screen with the other skink, like, right here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's guarded by, guard. And it's also protected by the skink. Yeah, I'm seeing that. You lost your tackle piece. The elves are all over the place, but the elves also took a decent opportunity to try to get the ball down, and the game could have been different if it did manage to go down. So now, Sans tackle. Still have a bench though, so it's not all lost. Like the elves have a ways to go, but they can still pull this off. And as always, I've completely forgotten the score line. Good restraint. Ooh, okay, that's rough. That's rough. That's nothing you can do there. And I think Luogo should be looking for just waiting for a good opportunity where if you get the ball down and fail to retrieve it, it's still hard for the lizards to score. So waiting, biding your time until going for a dive. It's all good. Keep your players alive. And beyond that, try to take your blitz on important pieces. If we can develop a hit on this move up skink, fantastic. If we can develop a hit on the killer, that's probably even more important. Because when there's only one tackle piece in the game, one mighty blow piece that is not a... Whoa, I don't like that foul. That's an 8+ foul without dirty player. You've already got a lead. You're just trying to... That would almost equalize you if you suffer like a KO. If you're going to take that foul, you need to make it a better foul. Is the logic there. And also, this piece is not protected. This piece is not safe. I would want this piece, like, over here. Like, you gotta keep your move up safe. I know it's, like, in scoring range, but it's also, like, a really sus position. Because, like, if I'm Luogo, I'm now deciding that I am hitting the skink. I probably would have hit it with the frenzy here. Hey, Gimlick. How you doing? Yeah, I think this was a misplay, because this could have been an amazing hit. I can't do anything about that. Could have considered a reroll there. There's a lot of these spots where if you rerolled, it would have been a little greedy, but given you a okay position. But I don't think it was anything that was, like, massively worth it. So I'm kind of, like, approving of the restraint here. No, it's on tackle, my friend. It's on tackle. Yeah, all good, all good. I have all skills on because Slibley's in the game. All good, all good. What divs are you showing? I believe this is minors. I don't actually always pay attention to what divs, but I will replay any game just about from any league, any division, any level of experience. Just it's all really based on who's asking for the game. So, newer players, I definitely focus a lot more on fundamentals, but for more experienced players, we try to theorize a little bit of the macro a little bit more, and that's always fun to me. In more experienced games, I do find it hard to give good critique that's, like, good general rules, you know? Just because, like, the more experienced the game, the more variables there are to pay attention to, and the more theory crafting, and that's a really good removal. Get your hit. And if you're able to get a good hit on tackle, that'd be nice. Yeah, that was very much needed. Now imagine if Melon was punished by a send-off. Could potentially be going into 10 as the elves. 10-10 even. And I like to think of it this way. If both teams had the same number of players, the fewer players there are, the more happy the elves are. So if you both have 11 players, the Bash team is happy. If you both have 7, Wood Elves, Dark Elves, Skaven, they're going to be having a jolly good time. Because, like, the less players there are, the more movement matters, the more agility matters. Okay. Melon's doing a good job of protecting the ball. Need to protect your Mighty Blow piece, though. This is getting caught up a little bit much. Doing good at taking your movements before activations. I approve. And you're protecting your movement up. Good. You're screening off the cage a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Okay. Also, I am going to try next Wednesday. I'm going to try trying to make Wednesdays a new consistent streaming day. Gonna try doing some new stuff. If you show up, great. If you don't, there will be a VOD. If it doesn't interest you at all, that's also fine. It won't be Blood Bowl. But just want to make people aware that if they are interested, red die is better than dodging off and failing anyways. That's statistically better than a 4+ dodge, so I'm fine with that red die. You got it. It's Raid. ShadowNet. No, it's not. I think we're doing XCOM is what we're going to try first. Bench is sad. But that was non-Mighty Blow. If that red die worked even on a push, you've got the ball-based. So I think that was fine. Push and then dodge through the agi. Okay, yeah, I actually like that play. Because you could have done a couple 2+s into 2 die on the ball, maybe? Yeah, I don't hate that. Little opportunistic, but, you know, you're reaching at this point in the drive. If that doesn't work, you're really not stopping anyways. The main punishment is if you go down another player, but at this point, I think that's the least of your worries. And then at this point in the drive, you just have to decide, are you preserving more players, or are you going to go for the ball one more time? Maybe one turn. I approve of that. You got to move up, Blitzer. So I would preserve your players, target this Mighty Blow, and honestly, I would foul this with alignment, I think. I think I would foul this. It's such an important piece. Yes. Diagonally opposite corners for guard means that you always have guard. In this case, it's not as important because there's no like leap piece. There's nothing like that. You disagree hard with a foul? That's fair. I think that I would foul this if I could get enough assists, and then that also helps me preserve players. But I also, I probably would have fouled there, but I'm also thinking I would be looking for variance as the Dark Elves at this point, already down 3 players. But that's what I think is fun about the foul discussion. There's always a discussion on a valuable piece. Because I think it's just good, if you get a valuable piece on the ground, you should ask yourself, do I foul this? Because a lot of times you'll say no, but if you have a dirty player, or a loner, or a lineman, or if it's the only tackle piece in the game, I think there's a lot of discussion to be had. And a lot of it comes down to personal preference, gameplay philosophy, yada yada, buzzword. It depends on what you like more. I think so. I think it did, but I think it's better to take the score. If the Dark Elves decide to go for that foul, you just accept it. If you wanted to keep the Mighty Blow tackle piece safe, you had to consider that 2 or 3 turns ago. Because I think you kind of, you're treating this as a Saurus, and you need to view it more as a killer. Because it's not just a Saurus, it's your killer. Maybe. I could see the argument there. You could also say there's only one Mighty Blow piece. It's not worth fouling. It's not that big of an issue. That could have been really fun if Slibley died there. Yeah, exactly. And if that Saurus doesn't come back, then Lugo's going to be feeling really good here. Yeah, that's fair. And that just comes down to how you view the attrition game. As elves, I'm kind of like, I'm already down players. If I go down one more, it's like not too big of an issue. But I'm not like an amazing elf coach. I'm kind of just like I play pro elves because they're fun, and then like sometimes I win. Did we set that up properly? I wanna let me check. Did we set up for the one turn properly? Because what are we looking for here? Boom, 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 boom. So this is 9 movement? No, this is 8 movement. Okay. You moved a player early by mistake. Okay, I was gonna say, like, this looked okay. This here, here, here. Here, here, here. Yeah, I just want to see where this went awry. Oh, yeah, okay, yep. That happens. Don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. Even attempting the one turn is good. Just getting the practice in. That's all it is. Pro Elves I very much enjoy Pro Elves, but some games are just obnoxious. I had a game where I went 3-2 and against Dwarves. They were the 3. It was very obnoxious. You know, it's just the games where every time you dodge off, you won in 36 and you break and die. It's just so ugh. But that's any team can have a game that they just all fall down and die every turn. But it's just more prone to happen on the AV7s. I did have a fun game with Pro Elves recently. I didn't stream my Pro Elf games. I wasn't feeling good, so I was playing my Pro Elf games off stream. But I played a Pro Elf game and we had like it was Woodies versus Pro Elf, and we both had like 3 players at the end of the game, and it was a 3-3 game. It was hilarious. Yeah, it happens, and that's fine. It's more of a frustrating in the moment sort of thing. I also need to stop playing Blood Bowl when my medication wears off, because it's very frustrating then. Because I take ADHD medicine. Currently it wears off at like 9. If I'm playing Blood Bowl past then, I'm just irrevocably frustrated. That being said, it's been an amazing life improvement. I had a whole spiel on that in the rookie subreddit, Discord. And I saw my doctor yesterday and we talked about it. And yeah, he's pretty happy with the results. He did up my dosage to try to make it last a little longer though. Yep, been there. Woody's pitch clearing is annoying. I think we're fine so far. Didn't mind the cups. Using your tackle piece, good. You need to protect it, though. I will repeat that sentiment for a while, but I think it's pretty fine over here. Like, he can technically be bullied, but it exposes some elves if you want to bully that. And here you're using Slibly to force a dodge. I wouldn't even base here. Like, you can stand here, but if I base here... If I'm the elves, I'm gonna punch you. Or just, like, dodge off one square. Or, even worse, Slibly doesn't get to go anywhere. Okay. Ball is back, so we can commit to punching. I like that. Yeah, that was a pretty greedy reroll, I agree. Turn 1 greed rerolls are not my thing. Unless you get one off the kickoff event and you're at 4, I really don't greed reroll turn 1. Greed reroll turn 3? Maybe. Greed reroll turn 1? Greed reroll turn 2? It has to be a good greed. Okay, maybe if it's a good greed. But if it's good greed, it's not greed, is it? Right? Because if you get a Claw Mighty Blow hit on the enemy killer, and you re-roll pushes, That's just like a worthwhile reroll. That's not a greedy reroll. That's just opportunistic attempt to get a big advantage in the game. Also, yes, I agree. I agree. I don't mind using one for greed. I mind how early you greed and how opportunistically you greed. Like, this player, great to greed on. The Witch Elf, great to greed on. Like, I don't mind that. Are we fouling that? Are we fouling that? I don't think we are. But no, I felt so complimented the other day. Roxy said something along the lines of, I'm well-spoken and know a lot about Blood Bowl, and that just feels really good to hear. Yeah, because I used to not be well-spoken. Because if you don't know, I had a brain injury like 5 years ago, and it really affected my speech. I often would struggle to find words, form coherent thoughts and sentences. And to be told that I'm pretty well spoken feels really good. And I really appreciated her saying that. Let's see. And dodging out, try to get a scoring threat. I don't hate that. That's fine. Kind of want to get the Crocs on something a little more interesting. But being on the lineman is fine. We can take the 3-die Mighty Blow. That's good. Good hit. I think you're always taking that hit with the Mighty Blow. But you need to protect it. You need to protect it. You could have just moved it back. There you go. That's better. That's better. Because it doesn't take a lot to protect it when you're strength 4. You can understand me well and you're not native English. Okay, that is good. That is a good sign. And hopefully, if I ever say something in a way that's not clear to non-native speaker, just let me know. I'll try to clarify. That's easier said than done a lot of times, because I am not very smart. I am a goofball, and words are scary. And that's a very good hit. Niggle coming into effect, I think. Did Niggle activate? No, Niggle didn't activate. It's just a dead. Punches are good. Punches are good. The Dark Elves are in a horrific spot. Do not envy them. 4 Kaz, 1 KO. Here, I think you just kind of try to develop a pass handoff play and just hope it works. Because I think if you don't, you're just going to get more and more desperate. Would I have kept that Nickel player? 100%. 100%. Raj is good. Raj keeps them safe most of the time. They do their job niggled pretty well. And they're AV8 niggled, not AV7 niggled. If they had no levels, I'd probably trash them. But if it's a lineman with a skill, yeah, I keep that niggle. I have no problem with keeping that niggle. Damn automod. Why'd you get automod? Allow. Oh, okay. I see why that got automodded, but I knew what you meant. That's awful. Oh. You know, I knew what you meant. You meant the Dark Elves. You meant the Dark Elves. But Automod did not think you meant Dark Elves. That is bad. Oh. Automod, stop making it dirty. Okay, and Lula's kind of just protecting the ball now, not willing to commit yet. And I think that's because we don't know where to commit. All these elves are caught up. Ooh? Okay. I like this. I like this. We're getting scoring threats. And we've got like a handoff pass play next turn, I think. So this could be good. This could be good. This could be it. This could be a score. This equalizes. And maybe you can go keep it 1-1. Maybe you can go 2-1 if you get like a blitz or a riot to help you get it 1-1. Okay. Nothing else. Pulled back a lot of players. Pulled back 5 players because of that aggression. That's pretty good. At this point, we're probably looking at some shenanigans, right? That is not quite a 3-die, but that is a good hit. You're gonna put him right in that little pocket. That reroll is fine, because that's one of the few players that can do anything effective. Oh, no! Appo? Appo. Appo? Woo! Safe. Okay, so I think you have to go for it this turn, right? I think I would go for it. Just like wing it down the field, hope it works. Or like wing it down, get in position to wing it down the field next turn. Uh-oh. Keep that based, I think. Yep, okay, I like that. I like that. You just need your dice to work here on this turn. There's nothing else about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you might have to blitz with this lineman to get that. Or you just go for the dodges and then throw into the end zone with the Agi 5. There's not really good solutions here, right? Like, it's all pretty desperate. That is the wrong hit. Okay, no, you're going for the right hit. Good. Go towards the end zone, okay. Don't break. Ooh, that's bad. That's a bad break. That's probably just game because of that break. Other option is go for the pass to this dude and hope it works. Is that the other option? I think that's the other option. I think that's the only option. Actually, get somebody in scoring range. So it would have to be the Agi 5. Get the Agi 5 into scoring range with a GFI. Go for the throw play? Maybe. Dodges, okay. Handing off. I think you should have gone up here and handed off. Just a minor thing. Step in front, because you might be able to do something that way. And also, I would have considered taking a GFI so you have another scoring threat. Like, take one GFI and then pass. Just for scoring threat purposes. But I understand you want to try to get the pass. What are you reviewing? I am reviewing a Blood Bowl game. But more specifically, a minors game between Melon and Luago. Dark Elves and Lizards. Just a minors game. This Dark Elf is in for a bad time. Agi 5 is getting bopped by Mighty Blow. Uh-oh. No goblins on pitch. Literally unplayable. Yeah, you got it. I think you just bring the skink up already. Just bring it forward rather than picking up the ball with it. You didn't get punished, but I wish you did. Or, game's mostly secure there. You could have considered trying to score on a source. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's so VM. No, that's actually to prevent touchdown attempt. It's not PM. Aww. There goes the attempt. Pretty decent game. Lugo had a pretty rough time. Melon, protect your killer, protect your killer, protect your killer. Don't bring the ball forward if you don't have to yet, especially against no wizard, nobody able to even reach in the back line. Yeah, you can just hang the ball back just a little bit more. You wouldn't have had the sack attempt that happened. Okay. Let's see. I think this is one. I'm not doing these in any real order this time. I'm just kind of clicking them. I don't know which order they were sent in. They're just on, like, my list. But how are you doing, Puppet Justice? I'm excited that the whole clan is coming back again. That's the 3rd season in a row. I could have swore we were going to lose somebody this season. Oh, also, I went running last night, and I had a new experience. I was running at like 10 at night. I have a nice little running pad that's got street lights on it, and it's pretty nice. I love running at night in the summer. And I went running, and my whole face looked sunburnt when I got back, because I had like a massive reaction to the amount of pollen that was in the air. So like my face looked sunburnt when I was running out at night. You're joining clan this season? Good, good. It's a lot of fun. It's so fun. Let's go to added skills. What do we got here? Got a babe. Bench of 1. Bench of none. Lots of development. Baldric versus Ramchick. Very sunny. Okay, I think the elves are fine with the very sunny. I don't know who sent this one in. Oh no, I think it was Ramchick. Yeah, especially, like, one of the new ones that came, like, 2 seasons ago. Oh, it's the worst. Like, he's an admin for a lot of leagues I'm in now, and, like, I just can't stand the guy. Makes me change my names. Makes me change my pictures. Like, It's a good kill for Baldric. Not really much you can do as the elves there. Being down 10 to 11 is pretty rough immediately. You can argue going through here, and then like this. Oh no, I don't like this. I would want to like break through on this side and go after the ball, because let's say that this thrower picks up the ball, runs all the squares, maybe GFI. Like that's a really deep cage to make. So, like, if you just, like, find a way through here, you have so much advantage right now. Like, I would have... Yeah, we have a strength 4. Blitz with a strength 4 and run through here. Like, I don't... No need to be so passive here. We could have hit either of these orcs. Hitting the guard piece that's unprotected is pretty good as well. Because the best time to assault the ball is before it gets in a cage. And these orcs are way far away from the ball. If you'd, like, create this hole and even send a couple players through. Hey, Kindred, how you doing? Yeah, and that was just a real missed opportunity to me. Because these are orcs, as long as you don't base them, like, you're only going to get hit once a turn, but you're going to get hit by palm once a turn, so you're going to quickly lose players. I think early aggression is the key in this matchup. Like, you're already down to 10. Then, okay. That's a palm hit. If this is pylon, you foul this. You have to foul this. Otherwise, you're going to lose players way too quickly. Or you really have to go after the ball. Imagine if we had a player back here. Imagine. We could have potentially stolen score this turn. So we need to go in. Oh, no. No, go after the ball. Go after the ball. Like, I like the foul, but we could go after the ball. The Orcs have no way to, like, deal with us going after the ball here. What are we screening? They're not going to pass. They don't have a receiver. Just go after the ball. Let's get it. Oh, man. We could have gone after the ball. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got a diagonal. We don't even have to blitz there. We could just, like, run in. Like, I like the foul. Don't get me wrong. But we could have had the foul and gone after the ball. Okay, no Apo. Send off, you know. Yeah, like, that's a great removal for the whole game. That's fantastic. However, we could have gone after the ball. We could have gotten to one-up this half in our defense and been feeling really, really good. Yeah, like, that's a great trait. That's a good foul. But I just think that we should have had some forward aggression. Even if it's just, like, on the right side, send one blitzer up closer. Because, like, there were 2 failed 1-9 pickups. This should have been a score. I am pretty adamant about that. It would be different. It would be different to me if this Dark Elf team had, like, 2 Mighty Blow. Like, you could maybe argue that the punches are better. But there's not 2 Mighty Blow. It's non-Mighty Blow. And, like, what are you waiting for if you're not aggressing at this point in time? Are you waiting for a stun? Because that's kind of fine. I can dig waiting for a stun. I just feel like we missed an opportunity already. I do like this. This positioning forces a cage. That's a very good stun. Yeah, this positioning forces a cage. And there's no tackle player anymore. There is a bit of Mighty Blow, but no tackle. So now we just gotta find opportunities to create a hit on the ball. And honestly, the Orcs have given up so much position. Like, let's just do a quick doodle. Like, look at this. The Orcs hold... let's pick a different color for that. It's very hard to see and very sunny. The Orcs hold, like, this space. And the rest is the Dark Elves. I think they've given up so much position by coming into the middle here. Granted, they're probably pretty good at holding that position. And they give up more position. We can develop follow-up hits here. I very much like developing follow-up hits here. Whether that's hitting the Black Orc into these 2 players, or you could, in theory, develop the Blitzer, where this Black Orc might be able to be developed. Who really knows? Probably not as much, but still gave up this whole right side here. And the Dark Elves are using this opportunity to form a elf screen. And I'm just super unimpressed by that. And they take a one... What? They didn't take their follow-up hit. They didn't take advantage to harass the cage a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty unimpressed by this. So let me like kind of demonstrate what I would have done. Not that what I would have done is like correct, but I think it'd be more correct. So we could have gotten some decent hits here, right? Let's say this piece comes here just like we did. Let's say you're willing to risk that piece, that's fine. You could just hit this piece to here, get a follow-up hit, dodge off, still get your sidestep on the cage. I like basing the Black Orcs in the back. That's fun. And, like, you have so much blodge, you have sidestep. Like, yeah, harass the cage. Like, if you're going to harass the cage, harass the cage. Using your strength for a blitz would have been fine. Just, like, I don't know. It was pretty... Like, I don't think elf screens are the way to go here. Like, yeah, you're preventing forward progression, But the orcs don't need to go that much more forwards before they're in range. They just need a little bit every turn. Like, harassing the cage is great. They try to break away, you outrun them. Especially with their black orcs in the back here. These black orcs are so slow. Force them to move, whether that's backwards or forwards, and the ball is exposed, is kind of my thought. You're fine with that. That doesn't do anything. You're on the ball. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I didn't like diving onto the ball with the follow-up hit available. I wouldn't have mind like going here and then going in. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's just a way into this cage. Like, there's a hit right here that we got. There's a hit right here currently. Not following is the right choice. There's a lot to work with here, right? You can potentially get this down. Form another play. I think you pretty much ignore the troll, though. This black orc is, I don't know, it's kind of hard to get into. I think the main thing we have is a loner hit on this Mighty Blow piece, which is not great. And then harass some other stuff. But I wouldn't do that first. No way. Got a follow-up hit, that's fine. That's fine. That's good, but I don't think that's like... That's a good result, but I don't think that's to be expected. I really like to... I would have rather blitzed like this black orc, I think. Or something on the left side. That being based is good. That's not going anywhere. Sidestep is a good skill. They're going to come over to the left. Is that good enough for them? They only got 2 turns to score. They can get into scoring range next turn. No scoring threats this turn. So I think you go really ham on all the things that are able to get into scoring range this turn, as the Dark Elves. Like, somebody bases this blitzer. Keep it from going anywhere. Well, maybe not baits it now, but we chain it away to where it's going to have a hard time getting into the scoring range. We can just open up the cage as well. Actually, this is just so simple, I feel silly. This is super simple. Boom, boom, oopsie. Made the wrong arrow. Boom, boom, boom. And then, like, you figure it out to make that, like, not awful as well. Right? Like, you can make this 2 dice, I'm pretty sure, with blitzes or whatnot. So we've got hits on ball. I think this was a mistake by the orcs. Like, this is just already a 2 die to get the chain. Don't move the guard piece. Don't move the guard piece. No! I don't like that. I don't like taking that GFI when we have a hit on the ball. No! What are you doing? You got a hit on the ball! We could have just punched the ball, and then the ball would have been on the ground. And then, like, the orcs would cry because they couldn't get the ball off the ground. Or let's say the ball is standing. We could have had a sidestep piece pushing this thrower into the corner, and then it has to be recovered and then still go through the screen. And I just think that would have been way better. I would have gone here instead. Okay, that's better. That Black Orc is not in scoring range. There's nothing in scoring range yet. You're going to throw to the Blitzer. Okay. Successfully defend against the score. Unless there's a chain. Okay, have not successfully defended. There is now a scoring threat. So, step one is to get the ball down. Step one is develop a scoring threat. What? 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 I think we could have just, like, gone for the score here. I mean, that's, like, guaranteed no score on you, but I think we could have reasonably set up to punch this ball down with our reroll, get the ball down the pitch, and then not have to worry about it. Just base this guy. And then, like, we still haven't developed a scoring threat here. I think that we could just get a scoring threat. Yeah, I don't approve it. I think the strength 4 could have been a great scoring threat. Just put it up just a little bit. Because you've already prevented the score. You've already prevented the score. And if you've already prevented the score, you just set up a scoring threat and then do other things, right? Set up 2 scoring threats. Out. Set up 3 if you could. And like that was gonna be fine, because that's just like 4+, 75% dodge into 2+, into try to be a scoring threat. I don't know, I just... I'm so... You prevented the score on the Orcs offense, that's great. But I feel like the sky was the limit on this half. There were so many good opportunities to harass the ball harder, and I would have been harassing the ball way more, rather than trying to really develop like an elf screen, rather than trying to, I don't know. But I'm also not a very conservative elf coach. I like to play pretty balls to the walls. But I think that's a lot because I feel like the times I have the hardest against elves are when they are aggressive, and then I have one dice roll fail. Like, you fail your 3+ pickup with a reroll, all of a sudden you're in trouble. And I think most games, elves are able to play a little bit fast and loose and then fall back into elf screening and just delaying tactics and looking for another opportunity. And how many players are we down? Down 2. Down 1, but they had a bench, I believe? Yeah. So the Orcs are at 11, Elves are at 9. Orcs are just doing some basic chevrons, protecting the thrower. Elves probably just want to ignore the line of scrimmage. Or go ham on it, either one. Either one. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Both teams get a reroll. It's not bad for the elves, not bad for the orcs. Not sure it favors either of them, really. I think it's just kind of neutral. Elves having rerolls is good, because they get lots of 2+ chains shenanigans. Orcs, you're kind of indifferent, because they don't normally use all 3 of their rerolls anyways. So maybe it does help the elves a little more, usually. I think there's just a hit on the ball, isn't there? Or is it far enough away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is just like a hit on the ball. I'd say whoopsies. I think I might have... Okay, so the thing is, like, there was a hit on the ball with the Black Orc, but it puts him way out of position, unless it works. Unless it works. And there's a 30% to knock down against Blodge on 2 dice. And it's like, what? 30%. 2 attempts, that's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like a 50-50, right? It happens or it doesn't. Oh wait, there's still a hit on the ball. Never mind, it's even better. And now this player's in scoring range too. Okay. We're just developing a spot for the ball to go. Can honestly go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bang, bang. Just kind of bring it up this way. If you really wanted, it wouldn't be safe though. Like there's like this blitzer, this lineman, this Black Orc, this Black Orc. Yeah, okay. That's better. That's better. And like we keep this over here to harass. I think I would have brought it forward a little bit. Just like make it act as a scoring threat. They have to deal with that more than it coming over here. It's like if you just take your 1 in 36 dodge, come up here and be a scoring threat, they have to deal with it. Because worst case scenario, you just give him the ball, run him up, and he's safe. Except for like this blitzer. But if they don't move this blitzer to deal with him, he's free. Like nobody can catch him. So I would have moved him up to be like a potential retriever, hold the ball for a couple turns, stall. This stun is really good, by the way. Might be able to break through here. Okay, dodge is a good skill. They're just going to do some base. That's probably like okay-ish. Got like a opportunity up here. Like punch here. Let me doodle my thoughts. Doodle my thoughts. It's like what? Punch here, form a box, hit here, hit here, hit here, move like not there. There, and then you have like this angle you can go. Like that way, and there's like a 2+2+ there. And then you can like run other things through. I think I'd be leaning towards this. I'm not completely sold on it, but that's just like what my eye is drawn to. Because then we could bring you up this way. Yeah, I think that'd be more my speed. Not huge on this. It's like the ball's not gonna be safe here. This is just like not feeling safe to me. It's like, base, blitz. Even though it's a 1 die, you kind of like, you take those. Oop, sorry, dropped my mouse. Surf that a little bit. Hey, Chovo. Welcome. I'm pretty sure we haven't looked at your game yet. Yeah, we haven't looked at your game yet. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, that's a hit on the ball. Reroll it? No. You have 4 rerolls. I would have rerolled that. I don't mind either way. Okay. Gets you chained. That gets you closer to being able to run away. So you're gonna take that POW and run up here and be a scoring threat. I think that's actually the wrong spot just because it takes this straight away. I think there's other things you gotta do here first as well. That's working out fine. Okay, okay, this is like fine-ish for the Dark Elves. I think the Orcs got a little unlucky there. I also just think that there were 2 1-die hits on the ball. The Orcs should have rerolled at least one of them. They've got 4 rerolls. Black Orc gets a hit here. That's good. I think you definitely need to reroll this if it's not a POW. Unfortunate. Okay, and we need a player able to catch. So right now, this is able to get away. So we need to get this blitzer up and to the right. Good removal. Like this blitzer needs to move. He needs to gun it. Thrower can move too. Thrower can like screen off, right? I'm not sure about the basage. Not sure about the basage. Because, like, I think your main problem is just, like, if the Strength 4 just runs rather than does any other dice. Could do something like just knocking down the blitzer, blitzing the thrower, then it's, like, hard for you to deal with. And this is a really good setup for the Dark Elves. I think this is really good. And then you just come base the thrower here, and you just walk. You just walk. That's, like, not a screen, because it's just going to get punched. So I think this was a mistake. I think this needed to just actually base the thrower. Potentially. Because right now it's just going to, like, walk this way and take the hit. It'll only be red dice though, so it's not like that big a blunder, but just like dice it all are kind of obnoxious here. And that's just like not what you want to do. I think you just wanted to take the red dice, just like say, this is the best I got. Like, I'm pretty sure this is just, like, super solvable by the Dark Elves in some way. Like, even if it's just, like, blitz 1-die, push. Because that's a 2+ to get out. Well, not exactly a 2+, but it's, like, 2+ with a bunch of follow-up. 2+ if you mean it's, like, not a skull. Because, like, both down is, like, annoying, but, like, you can still get out. Yeah. That's what I expected. So I think this is just, like, the Orcs just needed to, like, re-roll their hits on the ball. Because they got, like, 2 1-dies, and they had some other hit opportunities that they passed out. I think use those 4 rerolls you got a little more aggressively. And here, I think it's really on the Orcs to not lose the game at this moment. And as Dark Elves, I want to harass this ball again since it's super deep. Orcs aggressively pushing forwards. I like getting all these positionals tied up, put them in a box, because that makes it harder for them to screen you out, especially when you've controlled the flanks. Okay, I like this hit. It's okay. Right there, okay. Yeah. And getting scoring range on the next turn would be fine. Mostly control that right flank. Control this left flank pretty well. Put that on the Black Orc. Didn't end up mattering. That's basically out of the game. Okay. Good. And then this is the hard turn for the Orcs. Dark Elf's taking a great hit. That's one of the potential scoring threats. If this is stunned, it's pretty brutal. Okay. It's a good dodge failure. Now you need to develop as many scoring threats as possible before throwing dice while keeping the ball safe and all that jazz. Coming over on the right side is good. That's like okay. Bring in the guard. This is already a scoring threat. Okay, that's a good hit. Okay. That's going to go where? I feel like that should have been... This can still get punched and form another scoring threat with the splitter. So, bring you over here. Good. I think there's only one real scoring threat at the moment, so I'm not pleased at the moment. And this is, like, unsafe to be over near. This needs to come up. It's very sunny. And then the elves are going to get the ball. Because I don't even think it's hard. It's just like 3+, 2+ here, or 2+ here. I think going for the pass was wrong. I think you coming up is good, but you need to screen off of the Black Orcs here. Have your scoring threat come up on the last turn. Have this be another scoring threat. Have a scoring threat on either side of the field. Have the ball be protected, and then just, like, get it that way. Because now I don't think you can score without, like, a chain push. Like, this can score. But you need a chain push, double GFI. And it would, like, what? And you okay, you're not even going to what? Never mind. No, wait, unless you are going. I don't know. It's hard to say. That was also scoring. Yeah, I don't know. I did not like that conversion attempt. I felt like most of it was okay, but then you only made like one Agi 3 scoring threat, and then you went for a pass in the very sunny before you were forced to. I think you could have gotten away with a handoff on the next turn as the Orc team there. All right, we have 2 more games. Which one is Ashovas? I think it's Feyre. Feyre, I believe. Let me take a peek. Yeah, Feyre. Okay, that's what I thought. Oop, that's not how you do it. And After these next two replays, Ishova, if I have any more energy, I will do the other one you sent me. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Sometimes, you know, it's hard to convert the draw into a win, and that happens. Let's see what we got. Shova's Feyre. Got a bench of 1, bench of 1. Any powers? 4 reroll lizards. 4 reroll lizards. That's more than I would take. Strength up Saurus. Basically a natty. more lizards and dark elves. I was beginning to miss them, you know? I feel like we don't get enough lizards and dark elves on the replay streams. Oh. Ooh, a kick skink. That's interesting. I don't hate that. That's interesting. Sure hands kick. I like that a lot. It's more delves. Oh. That's just really funny. What was the other game? Yeah, it was Delves versus Chork. Yeah, it has 3 doubles, Dazik. That's the thing. Oh. Blodge, Sure Hands, Kick. I love that piece. You could have argued it was supposed to go strip ball. Like, block strip ball, block Sure Hands, strip ball. Because that would just kind of be funny. I don't think you really need that most of the time. That's really not how lizards get the ball down. Okay, and the ball is in a cage. I think this is aggressively forwards. I think that Ishova has a chance at hitting the ball, oddly enough. It wouldn't be like a good hit, but like we could just dodge into the cage and try to hit it, but I don't think you will. This is getting smacked with a follow-up hit. I like basing it. I want to see this get hit with a follow-up. That should have been the hit. Use your Mighty Blow. Use your Mighty Blow. Okay, you were going after the niggle. That's effectively the same as hitting with Mighty Blow, though. Like, no, actually, that's probably just, like, slightly worse than hitting with Mighty Blow. It's like a reverse claw. Oh. I would have rather just hit this one. Boom, bang. Because you could have hit this one and then had a follow-up hit. Like 2 tackle hits. 3 die, 3 die. I think you got a little focused on the niggle. Because also, positionally, this one's like an annoying spot for you as well. But like, you could have even done 2 die into 2 die, or 2 die into 3 die, and just like, you have some good follow-up hit. You probably get to take a free hit on the Mighty Blow here? Maybe? Yeah, you have an amazing skink hunter. I would just keep hitting skinks. This isn't scoring range, but like, if they score right now, that's good for you. So just kind of like focus on getting your kills. Hit them skinks. Bunk bunk. Good, good. That is the right hit. And now protect your killer. Don't put them closer to the end zone. That is a complaint of mine. I would rather push them just straight towards the sideline or towards the sideline and up. You've given them slightly easier access to the end zone. And you need to protect your killer here. Because this is the most valuable player on your team. They are going to aim for it. They're going to gun for it. And they might even just foul it because it's so important. Wrestle's good. You didn't... Wait, what? No. I don't... Is it niggled? Like, I could maybe see if it's niggled, but you just gave yourself a mighty blow hit. I don't like that at all. And you have your... Oh, misclick. Okay. Understand. Camera probably flicked on you. Okay. Understand. That happens. That was a missed opportunity from the Lizards. They could have hit your killer. Killer is a little stuck. You can free that up with a hit. And, like, you should be able to get a Mighty Blow hit on a skink again. Assuming they don't just score. They're just gonna go for the score? That's crazy. That's crazy. Why? No! You have such a good stall there as the Lizards. No! But that's fine. That's good for you, Ashova. Like, you get your score here. You hunt some skinks. That sort of garbage. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. I agree entirely. You do gotta be careful of the kick into a blitz, though. That is a real possibility. You get to surf a source here. I would like you to surf a source here. Area gets a reroll. Two into one. But it is a surf. Good. And then you have the sidestep. You have to protect this lineman, though. Just a tiny little screen. Okay, yeah, that's good, that's fine. There you go, protected it. Good job. Mostly. Ball's pretty far forward. I would use this player to come, like, cover there, maybe? Get the rest of the screen up. Good. Protect your killer. You protect the killer. Using it as a blind piece is okay, but, that's much better. That's a much better spot for it. Are you red dicing? You are red dicing, and it pans out? Okay. Good. There you go. That's better. Opportunistic little red die there that the push gives you a really good screen, really good positioning. So I don't mind that. I liked it a lot. Wrestle is good. Do you have a surf here? Just like, for fun, do you have a surf here? I think you might. But it would involve getting somebody, like, right here. So you can go, like, bang, push here, and then, like, Witch Elf surf. Wait, the witch might make it a surf anyways. Push, 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 surf. Yeah, there was a surf there if you really wanted it. There were a couple ways to do it, but yeah, like, for those that didn't see it, let me just draw it out for you. Push here, to go here, to go here, into, push here, to surf. It's not like a good surf. It takes a lot of activations, and you had to do it while your ball's kind of exposed. Not exploded. Exposed. But, like, it is a surf, and there's, like, 5 turns left. It might. I could see that being a decent play. It's also, like, really, really funny. Granted, we could just surf a skink, and that's also funny. We did not get to surf a skink, but that's because we had to deal with the witch elf. Like, we don't get to do fun stuff yet. Though, you do get a pretty decent breakaway here, I think. Do you surf a skink? You do surf a skink. No, you tackle Mighty Blow. That's fine, too. Yeah, that's like fine. That's a good hit. That's more likely to remove than anything else. Okay, now you need to protect that. Okay, good. Don't accidentally make your killer surfable. Good, good. Forced to reroll that. Oh, careful with your double GFIs there. You gotta be careful. I like marking that source. That's pretty good. I like marking on that side as well, because it gives you better positioning. So yeah, that was a really good turn. That was a really good turn. I like that. Good recovery. Good recovery. You can surf this source. Like, you could surf something reasonably almost every single turn in this game, and that's just really fun to me. It's just really funny. If we wanted to be really funny, we could probably surf this Mighty Blowsaurus, if I had to guess. Like, I think we can surf this Saurus. Like, here's another little fun one. Let's see. Hit here. Hit here. Hit here. Boom, boom, boom. No, I don't think that one's surfable, but it's no. It actually. What if we go a different path? What if we go down with him? Let's go down. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we got to surf on the killer. Holy. And then also, yeah. It would. That would work too. Yeah, we got to surf down below. This honestly might be a worthwhile one because that puts him majorly out of position. That frees up a lot of your players. You still have good, and you can take control of the center here. After that, boop. Yeah. That wouldn't be like a first activation sort of thing, though. Aw, that's sad. No surf attempt. I'll give you credit. You were going for the surf. You saw it, right? 100%. I know you saw it. Everybody saw that surf. It's clear as day. Ugh. Bazik. It's on the killer, though. It was on the killer. It's 100% worth. Every time. After getting the ball safe. And thank you. A lot of those were 2-die pushes. Thank you. Oh, I like the hit on the Aviate. I like basing. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's fine too. I mean, being a screen, yeah, that's good. Base some skink. Take this dodge, come up that way. Because right now, this skink can, like... These skinks can, like, tag team your Witch Elf. I think you're about to get sacked. Like, this looks like a base 1 die with block. It's a 50-50 to knock you down, at least. 3 successes. Yeah, that's a whoopsies. Oh wait, is the Saurus in range? Oh yeah, that's a big whoops. I think that's just a matter of you didn't count the squares right. Yeah, gotta count the squares, gotta count the squares. Basic. Oh. Idiot. Oh. Two sets of 1 and 81's a little spooky. Don't follow good. Kill this. Kill this. Kill this. Yes! 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 Oh. Do you fall for it again? No, you just go ahead and score. Okay. Giving the 9 natty lizards 2 turns to counterscore, and then giving yourselves maybe a turn to counterscore? Oh. I'm gonna skip the setup here. I think Chevron's fine. Not too much more you can do against this. They're probably just gonna take the 1 turn. Which means they need to fill the square. They've done the 1 turn wrong. Okay, they can still recover it. No, they can't. They messed that up in multiple ways. Because they used the dude who could have followed up. Also, this strength piece is niggled? Yeah, that's kind of my thought as well. But also, like, this skink is now exposed. Please tell me you punish this. Please punch this. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you've done it just for me. You can also probably make this 3 die. And I like that you're going aggressing on the ball. Oh, strength plus is strength minus. Oh! Oh, okay. I completely didn't recognize that. Why is it still on the team? Because it has block? That is a 70k block piece. That is tragic. I like the reroll. Very aggressive. Oh! Appo? Good. I think in this scenario, I would have set up this the hit on the Mighty Blow. Like, because you have the potential of getting this Crocscore out of the way and getting a 3-die hit. And also, it means that your killer's not based on the Crocscore. I see what you were doing. You were going for like a 4+ 75% dodge, and 2+ to get into an advantageous position. But like, the grass is always meaner on the other side. Okay, you've got someone in scoring range still. You can potentially get the ball. It will require you doing a dive or a chain push. Can you chain onto the ball easily? Not really. Can you chain things out of the way of the ball? Not easily. Is it reasonable to go for a dive on the ball? 100%. That's fine. I think I might have dove to try to get the ball, but this conserves your strength, and you're gonna get the ball next half anyways. So I respect this decision. Just keep your strength. Play for the next half. I wouldn't have faulted you for diving though. That was tempting. Because you still had the scoring range. Let's skip setups a little bit. No, that's fair. Especially after the Apo's gone. If you still had the Apo, I would have probably dived. You just lost the Apo though. You didn't have your tackle piece. But dodging like a wrestle lineman in could have been okay. Or trying to, that is. Because also, since you were the last turn in the drive, you could mark to get rid of assists without getting punished, which is always nice. Finally rewarded. Only 4 more skinks to go. Protect your killer. Okay, ball is in hand. Got it on blodge. I don't like this. Unless you're going for a level. Are you going for a level? No, you're not. What are you doing? What was that? What's this? The ball's not even safe. You can get hit by the skink. What are you doing? Wait, Ishovo! Ishovo, what is this? What is this? The ball's gotta get hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The source is gonna hit you again. Ishova. Ishova. Ishova, you were doing so well. Oh. So, Ishova, I ask you this, and it's okay if you don't want to answer. Like, I understand. Were you involved in a wood chipper accident when you were young? Do you not have enough fingers to count where the source can go? I understand. You can open up to us. It's fine. No judgment here. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that happens. I'm assuming this was like a long game. There have been a lot of decisions in this game. Yeah, okay. I just on easy mistakes to fix, because fortunately, to prevent having an opponent just move and then get 2 dice off of a GFI only involves counting, and that's an easy thing to fix. When you're more positioning, more macro, more all the other nuance, once that stuff gets a little more natural, the counting is easier too, because you don't have to worry so hard about looking for that surf, looking for the gap, looking for when am I going to set up for the next turn, what am I hitting? Like, the more natural things come, the less you make the silly mistake, because you have the mental bandwidth to look for that. Yeah, okay. Killer gets bowed. Now there is a Mighty Blow hit on your Witch Elf. This is what happens when you base your cage corners. Saved again. Did you know lizards are only able to GFI once? I didn't know that. It's new to me. Nuffle has come down from heaven to bless your game. Nuffle has decreed Ishova shall not be punished for not being able to count to 6, nor 8. 9 is completely out of the question. Oh. And then you just stall, right? And you get to hit both of these skinks. You get a POW instantly on one of them. No break. Get to hit the other one with tackle. It goes down. You get to go... That's because it was what I was going for. So if it sounded like the Holy Hand Grenade speech, it means I did a good job. I'm glad my talents don't go to waste. Just makes me feel better. And this is a good stall. This is good positioning. Good job, Russell. Pat yourself on the back. Oh man. Oh, my shoulder. I think I tore it. Patting myself way too hard. It was a great stall, and now it's looking like less of a good stall. Why didn't that just keep moving? That should have kept coming and threatening you. You should be able to stall this longer. Hopefully that's what you do. Okay, follow-up hits are good. Oh wait, because it was a push. I thought that was a knockdown. Never mind. Wait. Donner? No, it wasn't. That was a POW. No, wait. What? I don't know. I'll trust you. I could have swore that was a POW. I'm just dumb. Yeah, I would just stall here again. I don't know. What are they gonna do? Punish you? Make sure you move this blitzer as well. No reason for him to be there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, good job. Yeah, that's good positioning. No! You already had the stall! What are you doing? Oh. You set it up and... Hey, wait, were you scared you didn't count to 8 again? Is that what you got scared of? Oh. I have no words to... Good job. You got rid of the natty. Good decision. I'm glad that you chose to do that. Oh. Nuffle has come down again from the heavens to decree that natties are garbage and we don't like them. Oh. I don't have any words for that. Just funny. Where's your witch elf? That's not in range of surfing. I'm sad. Bonet's good. You need to deal with this, but other than that... You just kind of aggress the ball, right? Yep, that's scoring range. I like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like dodging on the sideline there. That's a little difficult. Yeah, that's an MNG. You got properly punished. I would have just, like, backed up. You could have just hit that with the wrestle instead. If you really wanted to hit it. And at the very least, the wrestle needed to stand up before that, because you want to at least tie up, like, one of these players. Or, like, dodge off before that. Is Carrie still going for it? Okay. The ball is down. That's good. You should be able to score here in a lot of instances. That's fine. Now, get yourself in range of doing something over here. Okay, I like that, because that gets the switch off the jump up hit. Okay. One die. Okay. Not bouncing it again, good. Come over here, just mess with the skinks. Okay, okay. Yeah, I like that. And then you dodge this and you go try to pick up the ball, right? Not quite, but I don't hate it. Okay, that is actually probably the best spot for you to have the ball. So, actually, no, that's bad, because he's blitzing out. He's able to score. No, he's not. I changed my mind. He's not able to score. Okay, now you still need to get the ball down. And, like, this shouldn't be too bad, though. Can make this a 1-die or 2-die? You can punch this skink, give room for that to dodge out. That's unfortunate. But I think, like, you had other options besides going for the 1 in 81. That's like, that was like fine-ish. Cause you're trying to free stuff up to take this hit there. Hey, Elliot, how you doing? This has been a silly game. Yeah. I think the main takeaway I have to give so far is, be a little bit more careful with using your dodge pieces to do chains of dodges. Like, using a dodge piece to do one 3+ dodge is fine. But doing, like, the 3+, 3+, 2+ is a lot greedier. And 2, yeah, count. But that's, like, an easy one to fix. That one's, like... that one's just, like, get more mental bandwidth by learning the other stuff, and you'll be fine. And I believe that you're setting this up correctly. I'll just trust you. Because I don't want to figure out if you did it right. I'll just trust you. This looks right. Frenzy, hit, boom. Frenzy, boom, boom. That looks right. That's fantastic. Push, good. No. Oh wait, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You can still do it. No. It's fine. It's fine. Bring this one up here. Do it. You got this. You got this. No. Okay, that's rough. You did good though. You did good. You gave yourself the outs. Cause you're just too far away. Just too far away from you. If you had actually, hold up. Small improvement. If you had somebody here, you could have continued this. You had somebody here, because you could fill these two spots, push here, and you would have scored. Like, bring him here. If he was here, you'd have this comes up here, this comes up here, right? So these spots are filled. This hit, push, push. This hit, push, push. You are just in scoring range on the 10. You've got 2 GFIs. You've got it. So you almost still had it. Yeah, so just minor improvement. If you had contact on this one last person. But that one's like hard to foresee. Like, that was a really good attempt. Now we're going to go to Luogo's game, and I think I'm out of steam after that one. That's not the right place. Dynamo, where's the other Dynamo? This one. Yeah, I'll put it on the list for next week. No worries. Actually. Can you put it on the list for me? There's a link right there. And just, like, put it on there so I remember to, like, copy the link and shit. I haven't made a space for it or anything. I just, I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna forget. Every week, I just, like, go through my DMs, like, did this person send me a replay? No, no, no. Okay, we're good. So let's see what we got here. A bribe and a babe for the Chorfs. Got a dirty player. So they've got a lot of inducements. What do you have that's so expensive? Move up, the Agi? I guess. You don't have any Mighty Blow. You don't really have any fouling potential. Your dodge doesn't do much. Your wrestle's kind of meh. Is there any niggle you can take advantage of? Yeah, I see that. I see that. No, I think this game's just a matter of hope you don't get clobbered. Try to bully the hobgoblins where you can. Try to get serfs where you can. But I don't think there's too much to this one. Just like go for it. I could say maybe instead of going boat against Chorf, if you spread out, it forces them to play more spread out. And also when you spread out to the wings a little bit, so like if instead of going boat you did like double cup, like lizards do, you have a little bit more access to the sideline, you can punish a little easier. On like a blitz, on like a pitch invasion, that sort of thing. You can also do you can like slant the line of scrimmage. Like if you put them to the right, and then you have a little bit of aggression on the left side. Worst case scenario, ball goes on the side that they leaned, and your team is fast enough to come cover it as well. But if you just set up like rule of 5 against Chor for Dorf, they're just gonna go straight down the middle, and that also gives them a lot of opportunity to get like a blitz into basing with a lot of guard advantage. Here they only have 2 guard, so it's not as pronounced. But higher TV, that could be a problem for you. And I think this Raj is going to get fouled, to be honest with you. Tackle, just tackle things. However you put it in there, as long as it's at the bottom where I can find it, that's fine. I'll take care of it later. I just don't want to forget. But don't worry too much about like how it looks. Like as long as it's on there, I'll figure it out. Okay, and Clawshaw is just going for the casualty game. They're all silly games. Blood Bowl is a silly game. I don't think there's really any good hit here. I'm not huge on columns turn 1 here. I think you're going to get hit and then based. This is a little better. It puts a little bit of pressure on the left side. Not much, though. Leave that. That's fine. I think before that dodge, you wanted to take a blitz. But there's not really good blitzes, so it's kind of hard. Like, best you had was hitting this Chorf, which is like, meh. Claw Mighty Blow. Obnoxious. Yep, and you're just gonna get fouled time after time. This might get exposed. Okay, like currently this is gonna be exposed. Like if this bribe failed. Yeah, this stuff should have just like straight up just moved first. That was an oversight by your opponent. I would hit this guard and get follow-up hits. Or hitting it and then just like being guaranteed not to be based is also fine. Yeah, we might see it this turn. Like, I'll try to point out, like, why... I'm not huge on Elf Screen unless you're buying just a couple turns. Here, it keeps, like, your pieces kind of safe. But your worst-case scenario here... Let's doodle. Like, let's say... Hobgoblin comes here. Take this hit. Boom. Right? And then the killer goes back. So we've got player here, killer comes back to like right here or something. And then these guard could like both potentially like just run into here and keep like 3 players base and force pretty bad positions, force you to get out, or you might get a hit. But if the Chorf just like heavily base you here, you could be in real trouble. Just because like when you're set up like this, it's just pretty easy to chuck in a couple guard. I don't know. Let me think. Let me go back and think a little bit. Like, I like having a screen, but I don't like having connected right behind it. Because I don't want it to just be get a knockdown, base the down player, and the player standing very easily. So I don't know at this point. Like, it's a really rough point. Ball's in a massive cage. It's a lot of kill advantage. So I'm kind of just, like, looking to get a hit and then back off a little bit. Like, stay wide. Because if you stay compact, they're just going to base everything. Whereas if you get a little wide, if they want to base everything, they have to spread out. But, like, here, in this exact situation, there's really no good option. You're just taking hits and hoping something sticks. And, like, maybe this Witch Elf could stand here. And that's a little better. Not really, because they just kind of walk through. I don't know. Mainly, I just think, like, if you get follow-up hits, you can get the players downed in a more awkward spot, if that makes sense. So it's less about, like, where you're standing and more just trying to split up the enemy, like, with your hits. Like, get them off to the side. Get them based on a player that's standing. Force them to give you a second hit if they want to base things. Like, here you're going to get a hit. You might even be able to pop the ball out. The meat cube. Oh yeah, you get a hit on the ball here. That's sad. I think you just eat it. I don't blame you either though. It's brutal. Yeah, I think you pop the ball out here. Cause like you're kind of running out of steam. Your best bet here is to like make a play, right? So you can either take this 1 die. Take this 1 die, or make it a 2 die. Either way. But I'd probably save the 2 die for later. Like, so we'll try to show you what I mean. So this will come up here later. So take this 1 die. Bang, bang, bang. Mark this. And then get a 2 die up here. So like, let me put the second part a little clearer. 2 die. Power reroll if you still got the reroll available. And if you get a POW, you can get the ball loose if it doesn't stay in the mob. And you have a chance at breaking away with it. With your move up. Because like I don't think you have much other option if that doesn't work. I think you're just going to get a lot of attrition. You're going to lose the ball. And it looks like you are doing that. It looks like you are doing that. Okay. Oh, I love it. I love that you're doing exactly what I was calling out. I love it. I love it. I love it. Get them deep into enemy territory. Scatter. Scatter. Okay. Very well done. Very well done. That gives you an opportunity. Good, good. Go for the pickup. Reroll it. Reroll it. Good. You stay there. Good, good, good. Good turn. Re-rolled that? What? I mean, I got rewarded for the reroll, too. That's annoying. I don't know why you would reroll that. You have so many other things to do in this turn as the chores to get the ball safe. Because this should be break, tackle, blitz. That works too. That works too. And I mean, it doesn't really because it was on guard. What? Wait a minute. And then you've got a chain to get free here. This should potentially just a score, right? So you can chain to here into just scoring. You've got 2 assists here. No, it's much worse now. I don't know. There's a lot of options here. There's just like the basic chain. There's just running. That's a 3+. Ooh, that's a spooky dice to just like roll. Ooh, that's like a little more bold than I would have gone for. I think I would have gone for at least a chain here. Because I think you could have at least taken 1 hit. Okay, let's see if we can find anything better. Because that's like what? 3-2, 2-2? 3-2, 2-2? That's not terrible. Yeah, because of all the guard. Yeah. So, the only other thing I see is you got a 2 die here. Because you got... No, that's not even a 2 die. That's a 1 die. That's like 1 die into... It's 1 die into 1 die? Yeah, that's pretty bad. But that's like 2+, 2+. And then that gives you 3-2, and it's the same thing. Okay, is there any blitz you could take? You could dodge with the Raj, but that's on tackle. No, that might have just been like, just doing it naked might have been the only way. Yeah, oof. Good score, though. Yeah, I think you were right. I think you did it right. Blitzes are good. You get to go aggressive the ball because of the blitz. Oop. Take your dodge. You got to reroll. That's good. Come up through here. Good. Good. Leaving a little bit of defense back is good. Rerolling for aggression. I like it. Basing the bull, good. You can sidestep on the other bull if you really wanted. Bringing it over to give assistance on the next turn. That's fine as well. Bribe is still here, right? Yep. Bribe is still here. Babe is still here. Wrestle is good. Get the killer down. It's fantastic. I think following with the Chorf there is wrong, because it's going to get further away from where it needs to be to protect the ball. It's got a lot of pressure in the backfield. Like, this was well used, capitalizing on the blitz. It's just thrown to the... What? What? That's wild to me. If that didn't work, they were so screwed. It might still be, like, sackable. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like a hard chain, but you can like push this and get like a 3, 2, 2, 2. Forcing the score here is good. Full-on bash scares you. That's fair. That's fair. Bash is scary. Wrestle is good. And the bull has to score the next turn. It's like no other way. The 4th Chorf game of the season, that's miserable. That's miserable. It's not really that dwarves or Chorf are overpowered. It's just that every single game feels the same. And it's like Every time the Chorfs get good dice, it's a miserable game. I think you played that well. You got a little unlucky on the result. Clawshaw played that really aggressively. It worked, but that was like a really aggressive play to get the bull score. You're down to 7 players? 5, 6, 7, oh, 8 players versus 11. 8 versus 11, little low, but manageable. And you can break through pretty easily, and if you get 3 turns to score, you've got a pretty easy entrance into the center here. I like this positioning. Hit the ref. That's really bad for you. The Chorf should never stop fouling this game. Get you a scoring threat up there. Get you another scoring threat up there. Get you a handoff piece. Take you a little blitz. I think you should have picked up the ball. I like that. I like that because you can potentially hand off there or pass there. Because you're not in a rush. You've got 2 turns. You've got 2 turns. And if there's no scoring threat from the Chorfs, I'd probably just go for it on the next turn. A little greedy. Not too much. That is the Mighty Blow piece. And that'll be the foul. Okay, still got some standing stuff, so that's good. This score shouldn't be too miserably bad. It's gonna hurt. Yep, get some free movement in. This is gonna be rough. Really got many options here. You just kind of gotta, yeah, go for it. That's fine. Happy with that. Here comes the handoff. Works. Gonna go for the pass. Hopefully not over any dwarves. Should be a 2+, 2+. Or 2+, 3+. 3+ with a reroll, 2+. Good job. And now they have a turn to score, and then you'll have a turn to punch them, and yeah. So let's see. Set up for his 1-turn defense. They're setting up for the riot. Think you need to pass for more? Maybe. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen 2 in one game. You are going to get fouled for the rest of the game. You should probably foul for the rest of the game, thinking about it. Just ridiculous fouls. Like 8+ foul, no problem. 10+, might as well. if you see a piece and it's like, it would be nice if that piece was stunned, you should just foul it. Like, you have two brimes and not enough player to capitalize. Like, just, like, why not? Just foul it. Oh. Like, oh, an 11 plus on a killer? Yeah, whatever, sure. It's just silly at this point. Triple bribe. Works. Don't need to keep players safe yet. Can still win the game. Why are you throwing to them? If you're going for the SPP, you gotta throw to the other hob. What are you doing? Ouch. I respect it. It's just silliness at this point. You're doing really well considering you have 4 casualties at the end of the first half. Skip the setup a little bit. This looks fine to me. Going for a quick score here basically wins you the game. If you get the quick score off. I would be careful. Like, it's better that the quick score fails than that you turn over. So, like, half-assing the quick turn, the quick score is kind of fine. Yeah, half-assing here is fine. Wrestle's good. That's gonna get fouled. No, you've played this game remarkably unbased. Like you've done fine this game, and it's like still you've gotten casualtied. Like this wasn't you at all. Like you're going against you're going against 3 bribes here. There's not too much you could have done better to prevent that. Yeah, and, like, again, you also don't even have to score to win this game. You just have to hold on to the ball. Just keep that in mind, yeah. This is kind of the situation where I like to just play, like, keep away. So you hold on to the ball, stay back. When they send people to come after it, you send it forwards and run through, and then hold it away from them on the other side and then score. Because they have to come to you. They have to. They're not allowed to play passive defense. If they do, they just lose. That's good, that's good. Be able... I like being in a position where you can bring the ball forwards by handoffs, passes, whatever. But you're not forced to. You're keeping it nice and safe, nice and deep. You've got control of quite a large amount of the pitch here. Like, you're screening off, you're staying wide, not letting the Chorts just power ball straight into you. This is good. This is good. I like this so far. You are getting brutalized, but there's literally nothing you can do to stop that. Like like this is like a fadeaway Daka, right? Like this is a fadeaway Daka. It's not a real thing, but it is this game. Yeah, because they have to cover the whole pitch. They have to. And if they don't, you just run away. Yep, that's to be expected. Honestly, like, we can surf this. I pull back again. So what I'm actually looking at here, I think it's to your advantage. Take this dodge, come here. Assuming this dodge doesn't fail, right? Assuming you still have the reroll. Let's duel. Assuming this dodge doesn't fail, come here. Hit here, follow, and then surf, and come back. And that gets rid of a player guaranteed, and getting rid of players slows down the aggression, especially when it's the Agi 4. This works too. This works too. Yeah, this also slows down, so this is fine. Yeah, that's really good. And then you follow, because now you're in position to potentially break through. Okay, yeah, that's good. Or this. That's fine. Don't be bundled up for guard. Good, good. Yeah, okay. I like that. Because now they're forced to deal with this. Yeah. You are still going to get fouled, though. There's no way around that. That is going to happen. And I still think you don't care. That gets surfed. That gets surfed. Surf that. Yes, you did. You really did. Yeah, I bet, especially when you rolled 2 bribe events. Not dead, not dead. We're running out of options. Quickly. Taking the block is fine. We're taking the knockdown. Handoff. And going through is your keep away option. Ooh, not going through? Plan it out? Okay, okay. Seeing if anything's up still, okay. That's got break tackle though, unfortunately. Oh, you're punting! That's actually a really good punt. That is a really good punt opportunity, actually. And then I believe I'm playing against... Am I playing against Winnie, or am I playing against Melon in Galava's Mixed League tomorrow? I think I'm playing against Winnie. I'm pretty sure it's Winnie. No, it is Melon. It is Melon. I'm going against Melon. I'm pretty sure it's Melon. Is it Winnie? I don't know. No, it is Winnie. You're right. Scrubby said it's Winnie. Scrubby said it's my turn with the toys. Yeah, that's right. Melon's in the other div. Uh-oh. And you've won the game. Good job. Ow. Don't be dead. It's safe. It's safe. Oh. Yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's the world. There's the world. You can maybe run to the right and get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not really, yeah. Just take that score. Yeah. You could, in theory, like, blitz this out of the way, but yeah. 3 players and 2 bribes. You really should use your resources more often. I expect you to have no players and no bribes. Oh, God. What a pummeling. They're all Kaz, too. There's no KOs. Just Kaz. And at this point, I'm assuming you just don't do anything. You just fade away. That's... oh. Sometimes winning against Chorf doesn't feel like a win. This damn goblin was gonna be in the game still. And your witch is getting fouled. Yep, gotta aggressively go. Something gets fouled, gets KO'd. Hit the scoring threat. Yup. And come stand like right here. No, you're just letting him score. That's fine. Yeah, you don't need to stop. You just need to run. Oh, 1 second. That was a scam call. Do not worry. I did not answer it. Elves win. Yes, that summarizes it pretty well. Average Chorf game against elves. They have every advantage and then get a wizard. Oh. And then you run away. Can't even forward anymore. There's not enough activations gonna happen. Reroll. There is a world where you can sack this. There's not a world where it's worthwhile. There were 4 players on the pitch. Thank you. No need to exaggerate. Like, ugh, come on. Hyperbolic much? Ooh. That was a brutal win. That was very well done. With that, I should be done. Do we know if there's anybody streaming? I see Trunk is streaming non-Blood Bowl. We'll go watch some Trunk, I think. Anybody have anything else to add? Any final questions? No, we're gonna go over to Trunk. Thank you all for joining. I will be back again same time next week. You all have a good one.